Hello all of you wonderful people, Jules here for WhatCulture.com, and I'm here today to talk to you about brilliant video game concepts that no one has the balls to make. Now, I'm not claiming to be an egg-headed mastermind who could make companies millions of dollars with just one of the many ideas that float through my brain. Wait a minute, that's exactly what I'm saying. When you look across the current video game industry, it's all starting to look the same. First-person shooters in either brown or wacky neon colors, the same open-world game just dressed up differently, and of course, sports titles, which alarmingly seem to be actually regressing rather than moving forward of late. It's also stale and stuffy, so you know what? Let's open a window to some new ideas that are just screaming out to be made. And better still, if they were, they would make their developers a buttload of cash. So with this in mind, I'm Jules, this is WhatCulture.com, and these are the 10 perfect video game ideas that everyone is ignoring. Number 10, a Marvel vs DC fighting game. We've seen quite a few fighting game crossovers over the years, with the likes of Tekken squaring off against Street Fighter, DC taking on Mortal Kombat, and of course, the all-time smash hit series of Marvel vs Capcom. Well, all except the last one, because that seems to have actually derailed the entire series, so whoops. And yet, never has there been a Marvel and DC fighting game. And the only one that does exist is a fan-made game, which is, pretty janky. You can't deny that this isn't just money left on the table, as who wouldn't want to see the likes of Iron Man take on Batman, especially if they use some of the models and animations from the Injustice games. While we might not get the ultimate brutality of the likes of Mortal Kombat, this crossover could satisfy both the fighting fetishist and the feverish fan alike, and that is always a good thing. Number 9, Bushido Blade VR. It pains me to say this, but as it stands, the Bushido Blade franchise is dead. But it offered such a good concept. Highly trained warriors doing battle with one another where 1 or 2 hits could kill you outright. It was so utterly tense from start to finish. In fact, it does seem to have been the inspiration in some part for the equally bum-clenching medieval murder simulator that was For Honor, which did an impressive job at making battles come down to the wire 9 times out of 10. So why not resurrect a deserving franchise and distill that atmosphere by placing the game within the VR setting? Here, players could react in real time with one-to-one movements as they battled to the death with swords and other spiky things. Vader Immortal has already hinted at what could be, so let's swap out the lightsaber for a longsword and watch the heads and good times roll. Number 8, an open-world spy game. Now, there are plenty of games out there that feature spies, and the likes of Solid Snake and Sam Fisher are tied intrinsically with the stealth genre, but it's a section of the industry that simply needs more love than it's getting. So why not give fans a realistic spy game? Maybe even set it during the Cold War for extra tension and apply it to the open world genre. The dream open-world spy game could be rife with intrigue and political strife, intricate and complicated personal relationships between you and your spy and their supporting cast could help solidify the world. And if you added in a character customization feature, this would help the immersion all the more. Think of something like the new Hitman games mixed with elements from the Nemesis system featured in Warner Bros. Lord of the Ring games, and then put it into a spy sandbox, featuring a world that reacts to your every move, where every mission could be your last. God, sign me up. Number 7, a zombie MMO. While online zombie slaying did have a brief moment in the sun with 2003's Resident Evil Outbreak, this is but the tip of the iceberg to what I'm proposing. Imagine this for a moment. You buy a new MMO which pitches itself as a simple Second Life style experience. It's not an RPG or a persistent shooter, but just a place to enjoy yourself without the troubles of PvP or hordes. For the first few months, everything is normal. You buy a house, maybe you settle down with a significant other, and it seems like your digital life is coming up daisies. That is, until the outbreak. Zombies start filling the streets and your house is ransacked. Now the world you loved is gone. And the game has changed from a simple life simulation to an all-out war for survival. You tell me that isn't cool. Number 6, Justice League the game. These days, superhero games are better than they've ever been. Gone are the times of Superman 64, sorry, I almost threw up in my mouth then, because now it is a place where we have the Arkham series, the Spider-Man games, and gosh dang it, we've got the Injustices. So it strikes me as a bit odd that one of the premier superhero team-ups, the Justice League, is without a modern video game adaptation. Square Enix is bringing Marvel's Avengers to home consoles and PCs this September, but the Super Friends, well, they appear to have been left out in the cold. It seems like a no-brainer, right? It could even offer the same option that X-Men Legends villains did and let us switch between rotating Justice League members. There's an infinite catalogue of stories to choose from and so many bankable properties in this one idea that it's actually surprising that we've not had any inkling of a Justice League game so far. Number 5. A decent ninja game. Just give me a new Tenchu game, that's all I'm asking for. And I know that a lot of you might be saying that Ghost of Tsushima is pretty on the ninja money, but in that game, stealth is just one of the styles that you can play as. I want a dedicated stealth and slice 'em up that we've not seen for decades. The Assassin's Creed franchise is crying out for such a game, but there's been no movement by Ubisoft to head to feudal Japan to deliver it, which again is a massive shame. I really don't have much more to say on this other than it is a shockingly obvious idea that slipped into the shadows. Number 4. DEATHSTAR TYCOON. Under the EA banner, Star Wars games have been something of a wild ride. We had the craziness and loot box controversies of Battlefront 2, the outstanding Fallen Order, and now this new space pilot title which is turning heads for all the right reasons. However, one aspect of the IP that's never been touched on has been building management. No, don't laugh. I'm deadly serious. Don't laugh. Because look at how much revenue SimCity turned in. Look at how much cash games like Fallout Shelter and Planet Coaster make. This could be a gold mine just waiting to be explored. So what you do is you take the Star Wars license and you put it into a management sim that focuses on the Death Star itself. Running that beast must be a ridiculous amount of work, so why not turn that into an experience which enriches the lore itself but rewards players with the ability to destroy planets or impress the Emperor himself? I mean, if you played it with a sillier edge, it could be a smash hit ripe for the taking. It's pretty out there, I know, but you don't get much more out there than space itself. Number 3. An open-world beat cop game. No, I don't mean like a rhythm action hero police game, although that too could also be a game. This one could basically just be boiled down to LA Noire, but better. Now, I'm not slagging that game off, but its on-foot sections left a lot to be desired. So take the casework structure of you solving crimes, but this time focus more on trying to keep peace in a virtual city. Hell, you could remove casework entirely and it would still be a good premise. Walking your beat, helping out the local neighborhood and stopping crimes when they arise could be brilliantly fun and also a measured game, especially if it's one whose message is about abstaining from reaching for a gun at the first sign of trouble. Using diplomacy and dialogue choices to solve situations could be immensely rewarding and prove that you don't need to be like Hollywood when it comes to being a cop. Number 2. Nintendo All-Stars. The Marvel Cinematic Universe has made one thing very, very clear to us over the years. People go absolutely nuts for shared universes. Seeing characters that you love team up and interact with one another has grown into an entire industry in itself. Nintendo has jumped into the fray with party games like Smash Brothers and Mario Kart, but just imagine for a moment if they took the Kingdom Hearts approach and crafted a huge JRPG or adventure game with their entire roster. You could team Mario up with Samus and Link, utilizing all of their different abilities in battle. You could even start the game in the Mushroom Kingdom, where Bowser's latest scheme accidentally rips a hole in the universe itself that opens up the entire Nintendo-verse. Mario then finds himself in an unfamiliar kingdom, that of Hyrule, and you're off to the races. Better yet, because of all the different types of games that Nintendo characters inhabit, there are so many different types of things you could do in that game. You could have a Star Fox Star rail shooter sequence, or a fast-paced F-Zero race. Honestly, I am drooling at the idea, so please Nintendo, please make this happen. And number 1, an open-world Jurassic Park game. Jurassic Park is no stranger to video games, having appeared in multiple platformer and city-building games, yet the potential is there for Jurassic Park to inhabit the open-world GTA-style space. You could start off quite simply by taking advantage of the fact that your game will be taking place in one location, allowing the developers to create a version of Jurassic Park that is highly detailed. This would be rewarding to people who are just fans of the series, as well as people who are there to see what else you've added in. Cast us in the role of a park staff member, even have different classes like a security guard or just a regular employee. This amazing moment where everything starts off and it's all magical at first, but then the initial awe of seeing dinosaurs is soon overshadowed by a desperate struggle to survive against them. As one of the most fulfilling and rewarding aspects of an open world game is becoming intimately familiar with the map, giving us the iconic Jurassic Park Jeep to explore it would also be a godsend. Uncovering new avenues of travel, secrets and shortcuts, basically getting to the point where you know the park like the back of your hand, would make for the ultimate Jurassic Park game that we've all always wanted. And there we go, those were 10 perfect video game ideas that everyone is ignoring. I hope that you enjoyed that, my friends, and please let me know what you thought about it down in the comments section below. As well as your ideas as well, because this is an open market. Let's spread some amazing ideas and hopefully someday someone will make them. And if you want to chat to me further, you can do so over on Twitter at RetroJ0, or you can catch me over on Live and Let's Dice as my personal gaming channel where I do tons of live streaming and board game play as well. But before I go, I just want to say one thing. We talked today about ideas, great things that people are ignoring. And you know what, my friend? I'm not going to ignore you. Yes, you listening to this video. You deserve love, happiness, and success because you are a massive ledge in my eyes, and do not let anyone make you feel any differently. Whatever ideas you've got, whatever plans and aspirations you have, I hope that you achieve them as long as they don't hurt anyone else. So go out there and absolutely smash it, okay? Big love from me to you. As always, I've been Jules, you have been awesome, never forget that, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.